Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Marketing Podcast, your source for all things marketing. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today is a very special Reunion 2020 episode. What is that? That's when I had a guest on in the past, and I liked them so much I had to bring him right on back. So today's special return guest is Justin Buckley, and he is a partner over at Attention Agency. Justin, welcome back to the show.
Hey, Adam, good to be back, man.
So, man, I'll tell you, obviously, today's topic, I'm excited to get into it with you. We never want to have these economic slowdowns and other things, but that being said, you're the guy I want on the line when we're talking about how digital marketing, how we should navigate those waters during economic slowdown. So we're going to get into that, but I don't want to assume that all of our new listeners caught your first episode. So let's just go into what you're doing over at Attention Agency. Tell us a little bit more about the agency, please.
Yeah, awesome. So Attention Agency is a digital marketing agency focused primarily on business-to-business and e-commerce, really just a growth agency. So we focus on Facebook, Google, Amazon, and email marketing for clients ranging between like 5 and 10 million per year in gross revenue. And we've been around for about 8 years in the digital landscape. We've had a lot of our own projects that we've launched, and then we started the agency about 2 years ago and really seen some explosive growth over the past 2 years, and now kind of walking into the headwinds of this, everything going on with coronavirus and economic downturn globally. So, just preparing for what's to come.
So that being said, I think that's a great transition. So what should, you've been in the business a long time, so to be clear, in digital marketing or agency life, 8 years, that's, you're almost at the 10 years. 10 years, you're a grandpa, I think. That's the way it works.
Yeah, right.
That being said, though, what are some things that some of these business owners, and let's talk specifically to your niche, so that $1 to $5 million kind of range in revenue, like what are some specific, things that people should be thinking about that are in those shoes in terms of their companies? What should they think around digital marketing?
Yeah, we've had a lot of conversations recently with clients. Obviously, there's a lot of uncertainty in the marketplace, regardless of where a company is at, whether they're startups, established. Our core really being that up to 10 to 20 million per year, but servicing all types of clients from startup to established businesses. The temperament's kind of the same no matter what, right? People are very uncertain about where the economy is going and how they should react. Are they positioned well to be able to survive whatever bumps are in the road? And really, how do they manage when it comes to us, how do they manage their digital ad spend? So a lot of the conversations that we've had with our clients is what to do with budget, how do we allocate, where do we allocate, why do we allocate for best performance. And I think no matter where a client is in their growth, they have two focuses, right? One is, do you focus on acquiring new customers, so bringing new customers in the door so that you're building that growth pyramid, right? You're just trying to build the base for future transactions, or do you focus on the return on your ad spend? So when you think about the full funnel, the most valuable customers you have are the ones that are spending the most are the past customers, because there's just an opportunity to bring them back into the fold. They already know your brand, they trust your brand, they've experienced it. So getting them to convert again is highly likely, but in times of economic slowdown, one of the concerns is really just exasperating that audience, right? You don't want to hit your core purchasers too much But at the same time, if you're focused too heavy on new customer acquisition, you could just be spending a lot of money trying to hunt for new prospects, which again, that's a lifeblood of any business, whether it's business to business or e-commerce. So some of the things that we've really focused on is for our clients is how, where, and why to allocate every single dollar to maximize returns. And I think without getting too deep, we have to remember that we have this huge omni-channel that includes email marketing, SMS marketing, chat bots. We have our regular platforms with Google, Bing, Facebook, Pinterest, Snap. Each one of these services a different audience and gives you the ability to reach on multiple layers. One of the concerns that we have in times like this is how, as a business, can you avoid reaching the exact same customer across too many platforms at the same time? And so here's the reason why. Every single platform has a way of communicating its own success, right? And that's the conversion and attribution. So one of the concerns that we come across with a lot of clients is they ask us, Facebook is telling me that I've had 100 conversions, and Google is telling me that I've had 100 conversions, each within their own respective platforms, their own report. Mm-hmm. But when I combine all of my data and look at my analytics, I've had 150 conversions. So what's happened? The problem is that the same user is getting tracked across different platforms, and they may have seen an ad and engaged with an ad on Facebook, and then they ran a search for the brand in Google, and then they got hit with an email, and email got them to convert. Mm-hmm. So the issue that we're trying to confront is how do we make sure that when we're spending money, we're doing it smart so that we're not duplicating conversions and conversion reporting, that we're using our monies intelligently. And there's a lot of ways to do this, but the core of it is in excluding audiences that are better serviced by different channels. So, for example, brand keywords. So if somebody wanted to look for the Adam Torres podcast, they would type in Adam Torres podcast. They may have discovered that through LinkedIn. They may have discovered that through Facebook, Instagram, all the different channels that you have. You, as a brand owner, might feel an imperative to bid on your name to protect your podcast from competitors who are looking to capitalize on your growth, on your brand, and really piggyback to inject themselves into the customer conversation, right? If somebody's looking for the Adam Torres podcast, they're looking for business advice, they're looking for tricks and tools of their own trade or complementary trades. In economic downturns, what we see is that's going to decrease substantially. So for you, in times where money's churning and business is churning and there's a lot of competition's fierce, it benefits you to protect your brand from people who are trying to piggyback on your growth, to make sure that they cannot inject themselves into the conversation that you've already established with your clients. But in downturns, those competitors are going to pull back their ad spend and really cut back on the campaigns that aren't really converting that well. And one of those is competitors. So what that means is that you can cut back on brand-centric campaigns and let SEO do the heavy lifting on your on branded search. Another example of that is email. So if you have audiences that you're trying to keep engaged with new content, what you don't need to do is hit those same users across multiple channels. There's ways that you can exclude audiences from advertising using software like Klaviyo that actually imports your segments directly into Facebook so that you can exclude active audiences from email to make sure that those customers, that you're not spending money on customers who are already active and engaged in one channel, right? So at the end of the day, the big picture is let each channel has a specific communication means and an audience that likes to engage in that way. Not everybody's going to click on a Facebook ad. Not everybody's going to open your email. Not everybody's going to engage with SMS or text messaging. But the ones that are, allow those systems to completely control those audiences and exclude them from all of your others. And what you'll see is that you might be able to cut back 20, 30% of your ad spend by deduping those clicks.
No, that's great advice. I'm just curious from your vantage point, any differences you're noticing just in traffic, just in general right now?
No, I think so. There was an interesting report that just came out about what's happening across the board. So competition increases CPMs. When competition decreases, CPMs are going to go down, right? I think uncertainty is something that is causing a push and pull effect at the same time. We've seen some of our managed accounts, the CPMs have dropped significantly, and in others it's increased, and that's all based off of what the competition within that specific industry is. So e-commerce, if you think about what's happening macroeconomically, e-commerce, we have retail foot traffic has plummeted, right? People are right now specifically, in the midst of the coronavirus, people are at home. They're not going out to stores. They're not going out to restaurants. They're not, the foot traffic on the street to locations is gone. But the corollary of that is that e-commerce is through the roof. Amazon, as long as it's an essential service or essential item, the traffic is wild. So the competition is really intense for things that are, where if everything is getting delivered to people's doorsteps, that's why e-commerce CPMs might be going up. The opposite of that, B2B services, anything that's servicing offices or, just let's use offices as an example. If I deliver a product or service directly to an office, there's no need for my business anymore. So products or services
like a Staples or something, like a Staples office or something like that. Not the regular one, but like a office Staples. Yep. Yeah.
So the competition there is much cheaper, and then you think about the platforms that might be where the CPMs would generally be high, say LinkedIn. Now LinkedIn CPMs are going down because there's more added inventory available that people can bid on, and when it comes to auction, if competition is down, it's supply is up, demand is down, price is down. So that's what we're seeing. It's respective to each industry and product, but across the board for the clients that we service, we've definitely seen CPMs, costs going down. People are at home, so people are more actively engaging with ads, but they're also, they're a little less. They're not as willing to part with every dollar. You have to really communicate a need and a value that's relevant right now.
No, that makes perfect sense. Just uncertainty with spending, right? So some of those other items may not get done. So Justin, before I forget, if somebody's listening to this and they want more information on Attention Agency or to connect with you and your team, what's the best way for them to get that info?
Yeah, absolutely. So the agency is Attention Agency. It's ATTN agency.com. You can find me on LinkedIn. It's Justin Buckley, Buckley, or by email at justin@attentionagency.com.
No, I love it, man. So, Justin, first off, I can talk to you about this stuff all day long, but we're about out of time. Man, I really appreciate you coming back on the show for this Reunion 2020 episode and giving us a really good, thorough update of what's going on with traffic and also your views on, what some business owners should be thinking about in terms of their marketing and their spend in a potential economic downturn. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. Hope you had a lot of fun listening. We had fun bringing this to you. If you did, don't forget, subscribe to the podcast. If you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Money, or Mission Matters, Marketing, be sure to give us a subscribe there and leave us some comments on the video. Love to continue the conversation and know what kind of things you're working on. And Justin, thanks for coming back on the show.